can see it yourselves. And thanks everybody for joining us this evening. And welcome to the District 5190 membership webinar. It's a part of the Leadership Learning Assembly training for club membership chairs, presidents, and other interested Rotarians. I'm Doug McDonald. I'm the district membership chair this year, and I'm here with our district membership committee to share with you a bit of information that'll help your club to be successful in growing Rotary. Our membership committee consists of several experienced Rotarians who each are taking a key part in the overall membership. Three of them over the next few minutes. Those that will be spending a bit of time with you are Richard Forster, Pete Hochrein, and Dave Bianchi. In addition, Sherilyn Laughlin of the Truckee Rotary Club manages the new prospective member leads that we receive from the Rotary International website. And we're recruiting membership chairs in each of our 13 areas to serve as additional resources. They're members of one of your nearby clubs, each of whom has had Rotary leadership experience and are excited to help you grow. And I notice that a couple are on this evening. From those I can see, Volker Huber from Sparks is the Area 8 chair. Pete Hochrein is working in the Quincy, Greenville, Loyalton, Portola area. Dennis Gear is going to be working in the Nevada City Grass Valley area, and Kelly Bry in the Fallon, Fernley, and the area 10 area. So those are the ones that we've recruited so far. Strong and growing membership in your club means vibrancy. It means the opportunity to provide even more and better service to your community. And it even means more contributions to the Rotary Foundation, which will allow clubs more funds for both global and local service projects. It means your club will be recognized even more for its service and position in the community, which in turn will generate even more interest in becoming Rotarians and the resulting growth in membership. So you can see that growing Rotary not only means growth in the number of members in your club, it means growth in service, growth in the interest in our foundation, growth in our image in the community. It's really a circular process, and it all starts with growing our membership. Growth in membership is not just about inducting new members into your club, as you might think. In fact, we do fairly well in bringing in new members. But it also means retaining our current members by meeting their expectations and needs. Clubs that not only have a plan to bring in guests to club meetings and to service projects, and to find out what Rotary is all about, and to invite prospective members to join, but also understand what members are looking for in the way of friendship and fellowship, service, programs, and vocational growth are the clubs that are vibrant. They also are the clubs that contribute to our Rotary Foundation and use those dollars most effectively for local and global service. And they're the ones that best serve the community. So we're going to cover those aspects of membership in this webinar tonight. Our membership committee is there to support your efforts, provide resources, and continually emphasize the importance of a well-planned membership plan in the club and to recognize success. So let's start with new member attraction. Our attraction chair, Richard Forrester, is this year's president of the Rotary Club of Ione in Amador County, and is a rancher and a county supervisor, and is active in his community in many ways. Richard, over to you.
All righty, thank you, Doug. Well, let's talk about new member attraction. People hear the word Rotary, but few really understand anything about the history of Rotary and what we do. They see a Rotary presence in their community, but may never ask questions and actually speak to a Rotarian. People are understandably busy with family and business, So to attract new members, we must make a strong effort to be out front with our message, get their attention, and then tell our story. How do we do that? Prospective members in our community need to see what we do to help people and make lives better. Let's start by focusing on club projects made possible by district grants. You have their attention now and have sparked an interest in being part of change. Now, the discussion with a prospective member can turn to what happens at club meetings, the events and fundraisers sponsored by the club, social gatherings, training to build new skills, and fun, especially the fun that Rotarians have while changing lives locally and internationally. We as Rotarians, community leaders, and people of action need to be proactive promoting our club and by showing Rotarians in action. Everything we do needs media attention to show that we are people of action. Every member of our community is a future Rotarian or supporter of what we do. Tell our story through words in print, pictures, and through your radio voice. Why would a newspaper or a radio station give a Rotary Club free exposure? There's always space and time to fill in media, and what better way to do that than with a community interest story? A Rotary Club that donated a shed to an elementary school for teacher storage, or how a club raises money for high school student scholarships and polio eradication by marching a cow down a small town main street in a parade. And yes, I did say a cow. This cow just made the front page. Our stories are unique and need to be shared with others. Build a relationship with the newspaper and radio managers to highlight what we do to impact our community and facilitate change. People love to be part of an organization that makes a difference, so let's spread the word. Make it easy to be a Rotarian and fun from the start. Meet with prospective Rotarians and discuss what we do and how we do it. Get their opinion from day one and let them know they have a voice in what the club does. Find out what fits for them and their schedule. Examine your club culture. Is it inviting, and are current members willing to be flexible with the meeting format? With our current health pandemic, clubs should embrace technology. Virtual connections with Zoom, GoToMeeting, Google Meet, and Skype, and other meeting forums have shown an opportunity we have not utilized to connect with our new existing members. Make tech your best friend. Look at your due structure. Is it manageable for younger members? Don't assume they know. Continually educate, even in small pieces. Why do we say the four-way test? Who is Paul Harris, and what is a Paul Harris Award? You're speaking an unknown language to new members until you give them the knowledge to understanding Rotary. Find out what really interests a prospective member before they join. What excites them? Working with youth, planning and working on projects, ending polio. Let them tell you what their passion is to establish their role in the club. Help Rotary to open the opportunities for your new member. If your club does not have multiple membership types, consider discussing this with your board of directors and add several types to your club bylaws. Corporate, family, and young professional members give potential members options and provide a welcoming and flexible pathway for member attraction. You can find resources to help understand these new membership types on the District 5190 homepage under membership. You will also see new member induction templates, a guide to corporate membership, information on finding and proposing new members, and steps for prospective members. I'm available along with my Rotarians on the district membership committee to meet and discuss attracting new members at your club meetings or with your club membership committee. We want you to succeed in growing Rotary so you can do even more to help your communities thrive. Empower your club with hands eager to make a difference. Attract members by emphasizing the benefits of Rotary. Make new friends. Learn new skills. Open opportunities through training. Change lives at home and around the world. Build business connections. And have fun. Remember, especially have fun. Lastly, timely propose new members for club membership. Remember, there are lots of service groups out there. Educate prospective members on why Rotary is their best option. Go through your club's acceptance process efficiently to have the prospective member become a part of your club. It's time for your club to grow, one bunny at a time. Let's start by attracting new bunnies, I mean members.
Richard, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Doug.
Next up is Pete Hochrein, our retention specialist. Pete is retired from the U.S. Forest Service and is an engineer. He has served 3 terms as a club president in both the Greenville and Quincy clubs in Plumas County. Pete is evacuated from the Quincy area due to the fires and is currently in Pasadena with his family. Pete?
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. If you need my information at the end of the program, I'll have my email address and phone numbers. So the next slide. Okay. So my job is to share ideas that will help your club become more vibrant, more welcoming, better serve the needs and expectations of your members, and to get your members more involved in Rotary. Innovate and flexible meeting schedules, alternative types of membership, and new attendance requirements can also be explored. All these ideas will lead to club members being more engaged and will result in their continued involvement in Rotary. Retention efforts should be a priority of your membership committee. Conduct club assessments regularly to determine your club's strengths and weaknesses. Ensuring that members are informed, involved, and recognized for their contributions to the club will increase member satisfaction. Monitoring trends in attendance, length of membership, service project participation, and contributions to the Rotary Foundation can also help point out concerns that you may need to address. So I'm going to go over 6 helpful websites that are on the District 5190 membership web area. And I would hope that you could look at those after this session and just peruse through them, but I'm going to give you a highlight of what those 6 areas are. So the first one is this Members Connecting with Rotary. And this might be a good one to give to any new member or even any member that's been in Rotary for a while, because it really explains what Rotary is and it helps them feel like they're part of the family of Rotary. On our website, you will find there's a membership drawdown and then there's a membership retention area, and that's where these 6 websites are. There are also 2 Word documents for transferring members. So if a member is leaving a club, going to an e-club or to a new club or to a passport club, there's the documentation on how to transfer with their name and their Rotary membership number. Then farther down, there's some references. These are very helpful. They're videos that you can show at your meetings about member retention. And there are also some surveys that will help you could use for club meetings, or you can send them to your members online. And then finally, there's 4 very informative RI membership tip videos that highlight some of the areas that Rotary International thinks would be helpful for retaining members. So this article here helps you get involved and make a difference. It's an article for new and older members on the Rotary experience. Okay, the next one that you see on the screen, this one is for members still turning into Rotary, and then wondering what is in it for me. If a Rotary Club provides value, a return on the members' investment, members stay, and they bring their friends, associates, and colleagues into Rotary. The majority of members leave Rotary when they perceive it is no longer worth staying. Okay, the next one. So this one is for you and your membership committee, along with possibly your whole club committee, to do an assessment of your club, determine when and why members leave your club, and generate strategies to keep them engaged and involved so they stay. So it's a 4-step process. The first step is to review your club's historic and existing member retention percentages. And there's some charts that you can use. You log in to Rotary International and it brings up your historic membership and where you're losing members and gaining members. And then second step is to determine when members leave your club. And third is to generate strategies for keeping members. And fourth is to develop an action plan. It also shows some Rotary research on why members stay for a year to 2 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, and members that stay 6 to 10 years. So each of these categories typically addresses a certain condition of your club, and why, if you're losing a lot of members after 1 year, those are things that you should address that would be helpful in retaining members. Then the next two items are surveys that you should do. One of them is your member satisfaction survey, and this one is something that you should most likely do every year, maybe at the beginning of your current year, and you identify what your members like and don't like about their club experience, and develop an action plan that builds on what your members like and discontinue or change what your members aren't satisfied with. The next one is an exit survey, and this could be helpful if you have members that are leaving, to ask them why are they leaving, and use this survey and act on the results to determine why members resign from your club and address any issues the survey reveals. So is there something about the meals they don't like, or the way everyone sits at the same table and doesn't say hi to them when they come? Things like that, I think, are helpful in surveying members that are leaving. And then the next one is a club health check. So this is more just giving you ideas on how to make your club more vibrant. So just as a routine doctor's visit helps us identify health risks before they become serious, a club health check can diagnose problem areas and prescribe remedies. By using this health check, you're taking a step to maintain your club's health and preserve its value for members and the community. And there's 5 areas in this assessment to review. The first one is your club experience, asking members, what is the experience in the club? The next one is your service and social activities. Are there enough of those? Do you have socials with families? Are you meeting once a month when you can on Zoom or something with your spouses and partners and maybe families? And then there's an area to discuss members and how they are being affected by your club meetings. Image, the Rotary image. Are you out in the news? Are you known by the community? And finally, your business and operations. Are you doing a good job of maintaining your budget and keeping your members notified of what's going on in your club? Then the last thing is, if you have members that are leaving for any reason, you should give them this information. It's a Word document that gives them ideas on what information they need if they're transferring. And Rotarians transfer to new Rotary clubs for many reasons: relocation, business changes, conflicts in meeting times and days, or personal issues, among other reasons. It is our desire to keep Rotarians active and involved in a club that suits their personal schedules, communities, and interests. These may include a new club, an e-club, a passport club, a satellite club, or even a focus club. And if you have any questions on any of those kind of clubs, I'd be more than happy to give you information. All right, Doug, thank you.
And there's Pete's email and phone numbers. And as I say, you'll be able to look up the recording of this and find that out, and also go to the website for email contacts. Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it very much. Our third and last specialist this evening is past District Governor Dave Bianchi. Dave is a member and past president of the largest club in our district, the Reno Rotary Club. Dave is retired from Northwestern Mutual Life, and this year is focusing on forming new clubs and new types of clubs. Dave?
Thank you very much, Doug, and it's good to see so many familiar faces on the screen and folks and friends that I haven't met yet. So thank you for all of you for being here. You know, both Richard and Pete gave some great examples of how to grow your membership and how to retain your members. Very, very important topic. So you may be wondering, how does this all fit in when we're talking about club extension? And why, if we're focusing on growing membership in our club, would we even consider extending and forming a new club? So let's just talk about that for a minute. I'm sure many of you have recruited folks or tried to recruit folks who, for whatever reason, cannot join your club because of time. Perhaps they can't meet on that date. And you find out that they really do want to be in Rotary. And so this is an opportunity to talk about perhaps forming a new club with them and some of their friends. So it's a great way to open up that discussion. They may live in a community that's close by, but it's too much of a struggle to get to your meetings. That may be another reason. Perhaps they just have a special interest, a very much of a focused person who may want to just have a club that focuses on a particular issue. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. The whole idea is we want to increase our reach of Rotary and service. We want to increase our impact. And Rotary now has provided us a wealth of opportunity to expand Rotary through a whole host of different types of clubs. For example, I just referred to someone that has a special interest in a particular cause, but they want to connect with others on that cause while addressing a particular set of problems that they want to solve. And this is a cause-based club. And so again, this could involve your own local community. It can involve communities throughout the world as on world programs and projects. And so this is a great opportunity, and there in fact, those do exist. You know, there's also a club that's being formed, not in our district, but another district, that is dealing with human trafficking. There's a lot of interest in peace and what Rotary can do to promote peace. And now there's a seventh avenue of service on the environment. And this may be a special interest that someone has. And these folks can be in your club as well as some of these cause-based clubs. Another opportunity is if you have a large business in your in your area is a corporate club. And this would be a club that is strictly based in that particular business. And they can get together and do good in the community. One of the favorite new programs is what's called a satellite club. And this satellite club is really exciting. These are the folks I was mentioning earlier who perhaps can't meet at the time and date, or they're in another area that's close by, and they become attached to your club, but they have their own little organization. And whereas all these other clubs have to have 20 people just to begin, the satellite club only needs 8 folks who are interested in providing service in their community. E-Club is another option. And of course, we do have an E-Club in our district, and so you can refer people to that. And we've all been kind of doing E-Club, haven't we? All of us are meeting online, and that's really what the E-Club does. And then there's passport clubs. And passport clubs, this is for people who perhaps travel frequently, or they enjoy trying different variety of club experiences and meeting new people. And they get involved sometimes in your club's projects as well. And so that's a passport club. And obviously the traditional club, the one we're all used to, or most of us are used to. This is an opportunity for people who, again, are looking for connections, service opportunities, and traditions. We're looking in our Reno Sparks area. We're researching a bilingual club, for example. And so there's our opportunities out there for all kinds of clubs. And then there's Rotaract. And Rotaract is, of course, for younger people who want to serve their community and develop leadership, professional skills, and have fun doing it through service. And so these are the opportunities that are available now from Rotary International. You know, how do we go about doing this? Well, obviously you have to identify that there's a need out there. And then you try to get that organized, make a communication plan, talking to different people, and have an informational meeting, bringing people in. And then start figuring out who are your charter members. And then once you have the charter members, you have an organizational meeting to work out all the details and filling out the applications. And then the part I love the best is, of course, having a party and celebrating when we have a new club. Now, all of this information on how to do this is very easy to access, and it's on our website, District 5190, under membership. You can go in there. All of this information that I've talked about is there. And of course, if you can't find it on the website, obviously you can contact me or Doug or any of us on the membership committee, and I'll work with you on an individual basis if you have a thought or an idea, and carry it through with you. So there's plenty of help available and plenty of resources. I'm available. There's my phone number and email address. Contact me anytime, and we can grow Rotary through extension. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Dave. Terrific job. Well, you can see that we have some very knowledgeable and dedicated Rotarians available to you as resources. They are, again, available to meet with you one-on-one or provide a program for your club, either in person or by Zoom, and to provide answers and point you to resources with an email request or a call. We've had really successful sessions already this Rotary year with the Reno Club and the Nevada City Club and others, and have handled some membership inquiries from Tahoe Douglas and Fernley and a couple other clubs. So we really enjoy working with individual clubs, working with presidents and membership chairs and your Rotarians. So please don't be bashful about asking for help or for tips or just a suggestion or two. You know, in this time of meeting electronically, some may think that embracing membership efforts should take a back seat. But I think that it's even more important now to take action. For example, taking an inventory of members who aren't attending our Zoom meetings, and then having our club members reach out to them, tell them that we care, invite them to participate, and keep in touch. Because if we don't, we have a good chance of them losing interest and losing them to Rotary. Many clubs are finding that it's even easier for some members to attend on Zoom than it was to come to an in-person meeting. It's also a great way to re-involve former members who have moved and want to reconnect with their old friends in Rotary, no matter how far away they live. And it's also easy for members to invite their contacts to attend a Zoom meeting, meet your members, see what the club is like and what it's doing, and ask them if they're interested in joining. We've had some real good success with inducting new members during a Zoom meeting. You'll find a lot of resources on our membership website. If you go to district5190.org and click on the membership page and under the member resources tab, that's where you'll find our email links. And I want to show you our page. Here's our district membership page, district5190.org. Go across to member resources and drop down to the membership page, and this is the page that'll come up. And you can see pretty much what we've covered today is in the body of the document. And on the left are links that are going to help you. We've been through Rotary's plethora of helps, paid web pages, documents, and we pulled out what we think are the most important ones and put them up here for you to take a look at. So here's a membership club, membership chair job description, information on being a mentor. Here's an induction template that we talked about earlier. Here's membership types, new membership types explained so that you can add. Here's helps on finding new members and proposing them, the membership proposal form, and on retention, the ones that Pete talked about, the exit survey and the satisfaction survey, and the transferring members information so we keep them in Rotary. And to Dave's points, new club types, satellite clubs, and down at the bottom, some video membership tips. They're only about a minute or two videos, so they're worth taking a look at. Your membership team is listed here, and just on a click to email, you can send an email to any of us, and it'll allow you, it'll hook up to your email and you can just send us a note. Really appreciate you attending today and finding out and getting excited a little bit about membership. I want to open it up to you to ask questions of any of us if you have any. So if you'll go down to and unmute yourself if you want to ask a question, and please feel free to do that at this point. We could all unmute ourselves if you wish to. It's nice to see so many great folks that I've met in Rotary over the years and some new ones. Linda Offerdahl, did you have your hand up?
I did, Doug. Thank you.
Sure, you bet.
I understand there's some new membership categories now with the corporate, like it's a corporate active or it's a corporate member. Can you talk about those?
Sure. Richard, do you want to handle that?
Either myself or Dave, but I'll start off. Corporate is pretty easy to do. There's a lot of clubs that already have those connections. It doesn't just have to be in the bigger cities. There are out the rural areas, there's industry that takes place. Get the CEO or manager of those companies, find someone who's got a leadership position within the company, have them join the club, or they can designate someone else to be the primary member representing the corporate interests. One person has to have the number, the RI number, and then they can have other members of the corporation that can join them in the meetings or that can represent them if they're not present. So it's an easy way to get many more people involved. And in many cases, those other people that come in say, I come to the meeting all the time, I might as well join Rotary and be a member.
So some other types of new member or memberships could be family members, where a reduced fee is offered to spouses or adult children of the member. In some clubs, is one person in the family is a member, and the rest are not officially listed on Rotary rosters as members, but they can come in place of any of the or of the main member. In some clubs, they're listed, the other family members are listed as honorary members. And the reason for doing each of those is if you list them as active members, then they automatically are billed for your Rotary dues and district dues. Honorary members, of course, are not. We also have associate members. Some clubs have added. They don't list them as active members in the club, but they are considered to be prospective members, let's say. So someday these associate members who are active in projects but can't attend meetings on a regular basis, someday their situation will change and they'll be able to become an active member. So all those types of new members are listed on the website under new types of membership, and you can take a look at that. And clubs do it differently in different ways, but make sure that whatever you do, you put it in the bylaws and follow your bylaws.
I'm glad you brought that up, Doug, because we have a family membership, but we're doing something a little bit different. We reduce the amount, but in the bylaws, we're going to reflect that the associate members actually have a voting privilege if the primary member is not present at the club. Important to reflect that in your bylaws, though. Another membership is young professionals, and you can gear that specifically to members that might be coming out of college. They might have a Rotaract club they belong to. Some of them go into a high-paying job. Most of them, I would say, probably don't. So it helps to help them be a member of the Rotary Club and cater that young professional membership to help them and foster them along as new members of your club.
And typically they have a reduced initiation and annual dues structure.
So
Yeah,
Doug,
sorry.
Stacy was asking in the chat that we're looking to do new membership categories, but wasn't sure about billing and how to build those. So I just want to ask Stacy if what you just said addresses her billing question. And then Ann had a question, and then Volker.
Okay, Stacy, you need to unmute yourself. Okay.
I think we were just having a hard time figuring out exactly how to build those other categories to make sure that we're still covering costs of breakfast and, dues and everything, but also
That's probably
you know,
something we can, you and I, or you and Richard and I, or however you want to do it, can talk with you individually and help you through that.
that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Great. Just
Okay.
contact us. Let us know when we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Ann Eckert and then Volker.
Ann?
Thank you.
Hey, Ann, how are you?
I'm doing well, Doug. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
You as well. So we did a club assessment in February of this year to identify strengths and weaknesses, cultural trends, all of those things. And one of the things we wanted to learn is what is maybe the number one deterrent in either joining Rotary or retaining membership. And there was a accord among all of those two categories. One was cost. The second was the frequency of the meetings, and number three was how long the meetings took place. So now in this new environment with COVID, we've gone to bi-weekly meetings. We're currently not charging for lunches, obviously, and our meetings are much shorter and much more condensed. But my question is, are other clubs in the area, what are they doing to address, you know, we would charge a little bit more than what we would have to pay for lunches to create some dues, but we're suffering in fundraising activities. And we find that our members really, really enjoy getting involved in fundraising so that they can do projects. So I'm just curious what other clubs you're doing in terms of the COVID environment and due structure, and if this has had any impact on membership with the change in meeting format.
I'm sure that it has indeed. The meeting formats and the change in meeting, not meeting in person, has affected our membership. And so we've lost a few members, but not many. And that's good. We also find that we've been able to attract those who haven't been coming to meetings on a regular basis, because in some cases it's easier to attend by Zoom. I think what I could do would be to give you some leads on some of the clubs who've had successful online fundraising events. If you'd like to learn about that, auctions and some other neat ideas that have happened, golf ball drops and some other things. So I'd be happy to do that. Does anybody else on the call want to add to help Ann answer her question?
I do on the virtual format. I think it gives us a tremendous opportunity to gain membership. We've already seen that in our club, and I own it's a small club, but we have potentially 3 to 4 new members already in line. I think they are going to join the club. But as Doug said, it gives you an opportunity to really open the world up for some people that have been stuck at home for so long, and let them know that there's life out there and Rotary still exists.
Anybody else? Volker had a question.
Yes, I was clicking myself through all the different membership types, like family, corporate, associate, and so on. And I see Stacy's question, and I think asking how it's billed might also be, is there a fee structure? Do we have a clear guidance for all the clubs that we understand? This is what a family membership should cost. Is there any guideline, any standardization for that?
There's not really a Rotary or a district standardization of that. We have some examples of what various clubs have done and how it's working.
That would be probably very helpful for to get the insecurity out of people, because
Great.
just saying, oh, we have all these new things and they will be reduced, but nobody knows exactly what it is. Say, hey, as a guideline, you can vary from this, but this is what other clubs have done, and we can.
So what I can do is to come up with some examples and post those
That would be
as well.
super.
Would that be helpful?
That would be very, very good. And then
Okay.
that was second part. And I agree with Richard 100% that it opens up completely new new form of engagement, at least. but how do you guys induct new members right now in this area? We have like 3 or 4 in the Sparks Rotary Club waiting, and we don't know exactly how we should induct them, that it's meaningful, that it's purposeful, that it, you know, that the people get not only their pin, which is a big thing for us to get pinned, and, you know, I can send the bill via mail, but I don't want to send the pin via mail.
How about opening that up to the group?
Now, I thought I had overheard that somebody had said that they inducted him in a virtual meeting, and I was just wondering, how do you guys make a big deal about it?
I saw the Amador Upcountry Rotary Club, which is Roberta Pickett's home club, and she led the induction. I chimed in as the outgoing district governor, and then she had another couple of people speak to it. Made it very special for the person that was being inducted. That person had a lot of energy. It was one of the best inductions I've ever seen. You just have to build that energy into the induction and make it positive, make it strong.
But did you pin it? Did you actually physically? I understand how to make verbally a big deal about it, and I know how to do that. But I know that our current club president, Christina, was a little insecure on how to get the pin to them and stuff like that. And I offered I can go there with the mask on, but
I would get your district governor involved and other leaders, maybe your membership leader for the district, Doug, involved, and really make it special to have people show up that make a big deal about it and show them we are happy that you're a Rotarian.
One suggestion would be to get the pin to the family and have the spouse there to pin the pin on.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
While you're talking about it.
That's a good idea, because it should feel like an honor bestowed on somebody.
That's right.
And pinning it
Get them
yourself
the
is like,
certificate and the package and the pin before they are inducted, then they can show that on the screen and that type of thing. So. And
did you have some thoughts to add to?
I was just going to say that our first meeting in July with DG Berta, we inducted our newest member, the first meeting of this year. And I, as membership chair, what I did is I had the virtual pin. I mean, we sent everything to her ahead of time. We invited her family and friends to attend, which they did virtually. And then DG Berta did a wonderful job. And I made it very formal, as if we were in a traditional meeting. And I held up her certificate with her name on it. I held up the pin, badges. I introduced people. And with the help of our DG, we made it, I think, very special. And probably one of the most engaging membership inductions I think we've had in a long time. It took a little bit of effort. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like your normal induction, but she has become a thriving member of our club. I'm not saying because of this, but I think perhaps maybe because we went to a little bit extra effort in a virtual meeting.
And what's
come
cool
up with
about
a virtual background for them that once they're inducted, I give them some laurels or something, a picture that they can upload, like I have my picture behind me.
Yeah.
You know, new member. Boom.
And getting the DG to participate via Zoom is a lot easier than in person. So it's kind of, I'm sure Berta would be happy to do that.
Doug, I don't know if Frank Verardi is still on. You might want to ask him what they did. He's the membership chair for Jackson, but I believe they actually videotaped some prospective member who came into the club. So if Frank is...
Frank, you want to chime in?
I'm here. What we did is a little bit different than probably what everybody else has done. We basically put together a very nice certificate and badge and got her pin and everything. And the president of the club and myself met with her with some social distancing, of course, and all of that. And she was, by then she was known to the club. I mean, everybody knew her. And so we went through it. She's really excited about helping with the youth in our organization, both the high school Ryla and stuff like that. But we did the two, and then we made a big deal of it at the next meeting that we inducted her and everything. And she's just really excited to be a part of the club. But we did, you know, what I did because of the situation is I spent a lot of time with her because normally we have what we call a fireside chat.
Mhm.
I personally spent a lot of time with her on the telephone, going through what we would normally go through in the fireside chat, going through the types of opportunities that were available to her in the club, and probably spent more time with her on the telephone and Zoom than you would normally spend with a prospective member. And so she was pretty well dialed in by the time she became a member, which was pretty exciting. And so, you know, she was already off and running before she ever became a member because she knew what was going to be available to her. And I think that really helped the situation and helped her move along and make the decision she did to join the club. So.
Great.
Thank you.
Other questions? Robin, did we have any others?
I have one.
Roxanne?
I'm Roxanne from the Tahoe Douglas. This is my first board position, and I have a member who's transferred into our club from Southern California. Do we have the same kind of fire chat? Do we have the pinning? What happens when someone transfers into your club?
Anybody want to share? What do you do in your club?
This is Frank, and we've had a couple of those. And so we literally get a letter from the club they're coming from that says they're a member in good standing, which nobody's ever taken exception to. It's just part of what we do. And then what we do is, as opposed to reviewing Rotary and stuff like we would normally do with a fireside chat, we review what our focus is, the kinds of projects we've been doing, really kind of a level of expectation, if you will. This club is a big Paul Harris Foundation supporter, and we let people know that, so that they're, you know, my whole goal as membership chair is no surprises. Nobody should ever be surprised, you know, in the first year if they come back to me and say, wow, I'm surprised that, you know, I'm spending so much money, or I'm doing this, or I'm being asked to help with this kind of project, then I've failed. So I try to make sure I minimize the any kind of surprise with the person up front, because I'd rather have them fall out and not be unhappy with the Rotary, as opposed to join us and then be unhappy out there in the community.
I would say each club has its own culture. So sharing that with that person, and yes,
Yep.
An induction into your club is appropriate,
Yep.
along with a badge and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Typically, clubs don't charge an initiation fee for transfers from other clubs. I've moved around with my job and have been a member of probably half a dozen clubs, and each time had a little bit of a fireside chat and had an induction. What I didn't like personally was having to do go through the red badge requirements of learning about Rotary and making up at a different club and that kind of thing, because I've already done all those kinds of things. So, but each club handles it a little bit differently. But yes.
And that's, Doug, that's kind of what we do. We basically try to just review with them the differences. They've already done the red badge as far as we're concerned. And so it's really about, as you said, the culture of the club, because I find each club has can have a significant difference in culture, because I've been to a number of them across the state of Washington, a number of them across the state of Oregon. And I can tell you it's vastly different in a lot of different clubs.
Don't be afraid to modify or expand that club culture, though. Let it grow naturally, but you have to have discussion with members, get buy-in. We have some members who are just dead set. They're not going to go on Zoom, but you know what happens? Their grandkids who are on Zoom all the time now start working with them, and they love it after that.
Well, we've been getting good. We've actually been getting good turnout at our Zoom meetings, as you know, Richard. And you know, I think Doug hit it earlier. You're going to have some that may not attend, but you're going to have others. We're seeing members that wouldn't normally be at a club meeting because they have full-time jobs and run a business and stuff like that, but they're coming to the Zoom meetings. And so
Well, we're getting very close to 6 o'clock, which it was our drop dead time. That gives us an hour together. I appreciate your time and your involvement. And please, the door is open. Please give us a call or drop us an email wherever we can help in your club. Thank you so much for your participation. Thanks to Richard and Pete and Dave for your presentations, and Robin for your help in the back room, and to all of you. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for your involvement in Rotary.
So Doug, before we leave, is there anyone that needs more information about satellite clubs? There's a question about satellite clubs. If so, why don't we just have them send a note to you, Doug? And
that'd be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.